Yeah. Welcome back to the HISxHERS Podcast, episode 73. We are back. Sorry for the absence. I don't know if you can tell right now. I probably sound all nasally, but I have been kind of sick, and Nikki's been sick.
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to hear us coughing probably throughout the episode because,
in advance.
Yeah, I'm not going to cut them out. That's
really, babe.
Way too much work for me. I am not going the extra mile. I'm so sorry.
We're just gonna stifle the coughs, okay?
Yeah, I'll see what I can do, but
look, okay, I got my moco rag right here just in case.
Yeah.
Like, it's real up here. But
I'll see if AI can do its thing. I'll see. There's no promises
let's
though.
hope. Welcome back, you guys.
Yeah.
Happy Monday. Thank you guys so much for starting your week off right. We know you guys missed us. We missed y'all. It was quite a sabbatical, man. There was a lot. Mostly us being sick. It started out quite simple. Okay, David went to a Broncos game. Insert dad pick right here.
You're talking all kind of shit too, because I went to the Broncos game. I came back and I was sick. Yeah, that's why you needed to go to that fucking Broncos game. You shouldn't have gone to that Broncos game. I was like, first of all, they're free seats, great seats.
Oh my God, they
like
were
sixth
great
row.
Seats. They were such good seats.
Right behind the Broncos sideline. I was like, was I
so
gonna
lucky.
not go?
I don't know how you.
Beautiful day, by the way.
Your entire sports, going to sporting events has been free tickets.
That's the only way I go.
Only for free.
That's the only way I go.
I don't think have you ever paid for your way into a game ever in the history of time, David?
I think I paid for us to go to the Broncos versus Panthers, the first game after they won the Super Bowl, and that was like $60 a ticket. That's why we had nosebleeds, but. But yeah, other than that, like my dad has season tickets, so
that's crazy.
Sometimes he'll be like willing to acknowledge I'm his son and be like, all right, I'll take you out in public,
up.
And then I'll get to go to a game with him sometimes, But yeah, this time I just got offered like free tickets like a day, 2 days before the game. I was like, fuck, let's go.
Yeah.
So then anyway, I went.
You go.
Nikki was like, yeah, go ahead, go have fun. And then afterwards she's like, you didn't have to go to that fucking game. Why'd you go to that game? So anyway, fast forward a week later, she goes to a SZA concert.
David, you know good and well SZA.
I'm not pronouncing
Don't
it that
be
way.
that way.
Okay, that's not even close to. It's like if people are like, oh, it's not DMX, it's pronounced dominatrix, not DMX. Like, it's
babe.
At least dominatrix that has all the letters of DMX.
It's
just not
that's
a
just
Z.
that pronunciation of how.
Anyways,
girl.
So
I went with my bestie
and she comes back
to the concert,
sick as fuck.
Okay,
so I was like, oh. But you had to go to that fucking concert.
I did.
You had to go to that SZA concert.
Oh my God, she's such a great performer. I don't know what people are talking about. Like that shit, it had me in my feels. It was amazing. The way that she had her song set up and like the order of which she did them. Girl, when I tell you she is a fantastic performer, 10 out of motherfucking 10. And also,
I hope it was worth it.
Hey to my glamazons that I ran into there. You guys are so cute. It's so sweet.
You guys got her sick.
So sweet. But everything about it, I got me some merch. Shut up. Okay. Nah, but for real, I would have appreciated y'all using some hand sanitizer. I don't know what hell had happened, but it just our immune systems are fighting, and they're gonna be strong after this. But so we apologize. Oh my God, because you know what? I was on such a fucking roll, and then it wouldn't have been so bad if it's just me and David, but it's the kids and each and every one of them in a row, and it's just like it's a whole. It's a whole process.
It just kind of like spirals.
It just spirals out of control, and then the whole fucking house. But it goes like one after the other. So by the time one person is almost over it, the other one's beginning it. You know what I mean? And so it just like rolled over, and I was like, "What is happening?" So wash your hands, do your best. Everybody out here is getting a cold. Ezra's last football game of the season happened, and
I feel like he played the whole season.
He could not. He could not. Make it through his last game. He felt so sick.
He had a battle, man. He was not feeling well at all.
It's real out there, you guys. It's
he was
real.
trying to thug it out. So
yeah.
But I appreciate him trying. I was laughing at that Cheesecake Factory girl.
Oh my God, we're gonna be so late on this. I don't really care because I got my 2 cents.
Because I was laughing because I was like, oh my God, like I don't know, man. I Cheesecake Factory to me is like it's a pretty nice restaurant. You know what I mean?
It is.
It's like
am I crazy? And look, I'm not even trying to seem like, oh, I'm so relatable. Like, I'm like one of the boys. Like, I'm like, no, bitch. My 16th birthday, okay? I went to Cheesecake Factory, and my mom saved up for me and only 2, Nikki, only 2, okay, of your friends are going to go. Plus my whole ass stepsister and my stepdad. And so we go there, and it was, girl, when I tell you I dressed to the nines, you would have thought I was going to prom. I thought it was that. It was the one on the 16th Street Mall.
For Cheesecake Factory?
Yes. And it had the beautiful downtown view. It was nice. What are you talking about?
Maybe that's why I think it's a nice restaurant, because the only one I know of is the one downtown.
I mean, I've seen like the standalone ones. Them's is nice too. I don't know. Like, I think people have just like different expectations nowadays. And I just feel like it's kind of out of touch because like I get it. And I feel like so many people and so many people are going through heartbreak, and everybody is so like hurtful these days. You know what I mean? Like they're not honest with each other, you know, whatever. And so they got to play these fucking games. Right. And I think the expectations just got wild and out of control. Like that lady that decided to get 48 oysters.
Well, before we go to that, how did you feel about the Cheesecake Factory girl video?
I felt bad for the guy. I did.
You did?
I felt like she was out of line the whole way through, like being late. You know, like I get it, maybe like, you know, a few minutes, but I do heavily believe in respecting somebody else's time. I'm surprised that she had him pick her up. But, you know, to each their own. But it just kind of started out rocky.
I'm surprised she got in a car that wasn't a limousine. Like,
right?
You know what
okay.
I mean?
So, right? Like, but I think it was just the manner in which she handled it and like the whole, I mean, look at me. Like, look
I was
at
like,
me.
all right, we're going to Chubby's then. That's where we're going. We're going to Chubby's.
No, but you straight up did take me on a date to Chubby's.
We did go to Chubby's one time. We did do that.
And like, I don't know, like, and I was laughing my ass off about it, you guys, because I came downstairs to David and I was like, did you hear about this? I was laughing my ass off because I was like, dude, like our first dates were so humble, bitch. Like I almost got into a fight at Wendy's because that's the places that like we would be. And I think our nicest spot, I told David, I was like, our nicest spot that we ever went was Zinzetti's. And I thought it was the most like.
That's the first time I think I ever been to Zinzetti's.
Yeah, you better say that.
It's a restaurant.
No, I'm just kidding. It's a restaurant.
Yeah, I don't, like, we didn't, well, we went to some nice first. Well.
No. Not until like later. But, you know, it was just like the come up. I don't know. People have different viewpoints of
like this. There wasn't like that kind of weird societal pressure then that there is now.
You think that this is like a new societal pressure that's
I
being
think
placed?
so. I think because social media plays a huge part into it, because everybody's got to be like have the greatest life, you know, that they got to portray on the internet.
Yeah.
And so I think some of that kind of gets to some people's heads, and that's why that girl felt comfortable enough to film that, even though like she's clearly being like a petulant
and you know what?
child.
I had to give him props because he for real was like, "Oh, you're filming me." I said what I said. Like he looked in her camera and was like, "I think that," but he stayed so calm.
He handled it better
so
than
respectful.
I would have probably. I would have been such a smart ass the whole time.
You would have flipped shit, dude.
I would have just been like, "What are you talking about?" Cheesecake Factory, like you're not above Cheesecake Factory.
Like when like my brother, my grandma, my tia would come in from out of town, we would go to Cheesecake Factory. You remember when we took the family picture in front of the Cheesecake Factory?
Yeah,
yeah. I'm so confused.
Yeah, like I don't know. Like I saw people who shitting on like other restaurants, like Chili's and shit. I was like, damn, me and Nikki used to fuck Chili's up.
All the time, man.
Like Texas Roadhouse, man.
Dude,
we used
that
to
2
fuck
for
all that shit up.
Shoot.
We go to all the chain restaurants.
Man.
We just go like, hey, you want to go somewhere where we know we're going to get full?
Yeah.
You know, like pay an arm and a leg. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like we like going to the nice restaurants. Like, what's that one we went to for Thanksgiving that one year? Remember?
Hey, you don't even know them.
Del Frisco's. We went to Del Frisco's for Thanksgiving. That shit was good.
It was really good.
That had me thinking like, maybe we should do it this way from now on. For
no, but like, okay, do you think, oh my God forbid,
like
okay, never let it be. Good. Do you think that you would be able to go on what kind of first date would you go on now? As a grown ass man?
I don't, whatever I say is,
babe, no,
it's going to get me canceled, man. There's going to be comments telling you to leave me and shit.
What? I just always think it's funny. I find those comments comical because I'm like, hey, we've been together since you were in like the 3rd grade, homie. Like, I think I got this figured out. It's cool. Like, you're seeing like a snapshot of us, and you know, everybody can have their own opinions, but we have these conversations for, you know, our experience, number 1, and number 2 for, you know, entertainment. So take it as you will, but it's really not that deep. I just want to know.
Yeah, I don't
like, say it was me, like we met now.
Right. I don't.
And I don't know if my mindset would have changed. I would have been fine with cheesecake. I know that.
I'm not like a huge Cheesecake Factory.
I would have fine going to get sushi.
Ooh,
I would have been fine,
call,
like you know, like
I'd probably go to like a cheesecake tier restaurant. I think that's a really nice first date.
But is that like low expectation of us?
I mean, you're entitled to not accept that, I suppose. Is even like going to the movies like an acceptable date? I don't even know.
I mean, interesting.
Like, do people go to movies still? It's like, that was another date we always did. We always went to the movies. I mean, even now, today's still like, if we could still like a couple hours to have a date night, like, let's just go.
Let's go to the movies.
We'll just go get some snacks and go to the movies.
Let's go to the drive-in.
Yeah, the drive-in.
I wish that they would enlarge their screen. It would be so much better.
It's the only down part. Other than that, I love it. But yeah, I don't know if people still go to the movies. Bowling's fun.
Bowling is super fun. I just think that, like, man, like, you guys gotta like talk to each other more. It's not about like, this sounds so cliche, but it's not about the money. It's about the experience.
Yeah.
It's about, and I get it, like, you know, you don't want to waste your time, and everybody's like wasting each other's time. But if you like really feel the connection with this person, like, stop fucking looking for it. Stop it. Stop looking for it, because you're gonna get yourself into some shit.
Or like people try to like seek approval or validation from like other people that aren't in the relationship, and that's a recipe for disaster too. Because like,
but I mean, it just like I don't know how to explain it. Like, it just kind of happens. And if you gotta force it, it's most likely not meant to be.
I don't know. I'm glad I'm old.
Bitch, that's what I said. That's what I said.
God. If I was like in my 20s now, I'd be like, oh my
God.
I don't think I'd ever.
Like, my bestie already got snatched up. You hear me? It's snatched. Because like I was praying for her, because I knew that like these streets are wild.
How old's her dude?
He's, I think, in like 33, 34.
So he's like.
He's
older than me, no?
Yeah, he's about a year older than me.
At least she's dating people that are like in that same age for sure. Range.
No, she had filters set and correct.
Yeah.
Okay, she
like
she was not there to play.
Like a 22-year-old now.
No. And you know, we had discussions about that, and it was just like, she was very lucky and grateful. She was like, oh my God, I'm so glad that, you know, she didn't have to go on too many dates. Before, you know, she found somebody that, like, just the connection, just, you know, don't force it, and they just have fun, and, you know, there's no like set expectation there. It's just like, just have a good time, enjoy each other's company, get to know each other. Yeah, not like
on Instagram Live the whole day.
And I know we sound like so fucking old right now. I understand, I get it, but there is a beauty to simplicity, man. There's a beauty to like organic shit happening in your life, and I'm 100% an advocate.
I have a bad habit of not like filming shit that's going on.
Yeah.
And I feel like I should do that a little bit more, especially when it comes to the kids, because sometimes I feel like my instinct isn't like to pull out my phone and like film it.
Oh, yeah,
I was like, I should probably do that.
I be getting mad because like
I'm trying.
I don't have my moments with my kids, and I'm like, when you see
I do have pictures and videos of you with the kids though.
You got better at it.
I have a lot. I think I have a lot that you don't even know about.
Thanks. You just don't want to share?
They're super candid. I don't want to. No, I know you're not gonna like them because they're like super candid.
You know what's so funny is that you and I used to be like huge posters on the internet together. We would post pictures of each other. That's before you became famous. All the time. First of all, first and foremost, I'm not famous. I'm friends with a lot of people. Okay. Secondly,
that's what my dad says.
David and I, we used to do that all the time, because I feel like people get a little confused, because as we've been going on in our relationship, like, it's just more private.
Plus, we have 3 kids, so.
Well, yeah, but also just like the privacy portion, it keeps shit special. Like, you know, I love you a lot, and I don't like people saying shit about you. I don't like people like making up their own narratives or whatever. I don't know. Like, you're just special to me, and the kids are very special to me. Not saying anything bad about people that have a different opinion. Okay, we got different opinions. You do what you want to do. I do what you want to. All love. I'm just saying my purposes, and that's just how I feel about it. Because like,
I've never been a big person to like put my whole life out on the internet anyway.
I saw your Facebook pictures when I met you.
My Facebook was me just like talking shit to my family members.
No, I saw your selfies.
I did.
And your bro selfies with your friends.
Yeah, it was like group photos and stuff. You know, this is like 2010.
You graduating.
Nah, I don't think I was on Facebook then.
No, you had your graduation, like a few of your graduation
those
pictures.
were my MySpace days.
Oh, great. Yes, age us even more, babe. Good job.
MySpace.
I don't know.
I didn't even know about MySpace. My sister had it first before me. My younger sister, she's like a year and a half younger than me. And she had it first. And she's always getting into drama in there. She's like, you need to get on MySpace. I was like, fuck no, I'm not getting on that shit. Like, I was like, I see all the shit you go through. And then one day, they like posted they took like one of her family photos that she posted on there, some bitches she was beefing with. They took it and they're like on Microsoft Paint were just writing on there, like just fucking just cooking all of us. And I was like, what the fuck did I do?
What?
Yeah. And they like talk shit about my forehead and shit. Like, I was like, what the fuck? I had nothing to do with this. I was like that 50 Cent meme. I was like, what'd you say fuck me for? Like making fun of like my baby sister at the time. I was like, even she caught it. I was like, God damn.
That is the funniest shit I've ever heard.
I was like, what the fuck did you do?
What did she do?
I'm telling you, this was like an every week thing. She's always beefing.
I need to hear this story. I want to hear from her.
She was always beefing, man. She's like, can you believe it? And I was just laughing.
Were you embarrassed?
No, I was laughing. I was like, this is fucking funny.
Oh my God.
And I was like, all right, I gotta get in on this. Like, this is fucking hilarious. I didn't take it to heart at all. I just thought it was funny that like they just took her whole family photo. They just started fucking writing on it on Microsoft Paint, just fucking clowning everybody.
What did your parents say? What did your parents say?
I think they were pretty pissed off. I think they were pretty pissed.
Oh my God.
But I was like,
the whole family picture. I would be pissed. You hear me?
I was just like,
Have you ever?
Only one of my sisters is capable of like really good at talking shit, and that's my youngest sister.
Yeah, the baby.
Really
listen, you better watch out for her, okay? My brother was the king in our siblinghood. I'm definitely not as quick witted as he is, but he did teach me a lot. And I think that I'm quick witted, and I think, you know, that I got the jabs in, and I know how to, you know, get under somebody's skin until I get around my brother again, and I'm like, wow, you got a special talent. You got a special talent. And he he be getting under my skin all the time.
See, you know who actually trained me in the art was Aaron.
Oh, yeah, your best friend.
Aaron was always like 2 steps ahead.
Yeah, Aaron could talk some
So
shit.
one day I had to ask him, I was like, man, how the fuck do you come up with like all this shit so fast? And he was like, I'm thinking about, if I say this, if they say this back, I'll say this back.
Yeah, it's a whole dialogue.
So that was like how
that's how it works. Yeah.
That's how his mind worked. And so then I was like, oh, okay. So then I started trying to do that, you know, like always thinking like ahead like that. And it makes a huge difference.
That definitely makes sense, because like my brother was just like, you gotta anticipate.
Yeah.
You know, like you gotta just like anticipate it, and like how to identify people's weak points. My brother really had it down to a science.
See, I tried to not like go at people to like hurt their feelings. It's more like just talking shit to each other.
Oh yeah, that's if you go below the belt, I got my arsenal. That's all. I'll be prepared. Just I don't want to go there. Like we could just go back and forth, but that's okay. Have you ever like talked shit to somebody so much that you made them cry, or you made them like upset, or like get up and walk off? I know I did with David's friend. That happened once.
Oh yeah.
I made one of my cousins cry.
I never went at people like that. No.
Don't make it seem like I'm just this mean person.
Well, no.
Oh, see? That's what I was looking for. Come on with it.
For sure.
Oh, no, David.
Yeah, we both
story, bro.
exchanged some not so pleasantries.
Some respectful banter. Sure. Let's call it that.
I'm not a saint.
You are a sinner. This is
true.
A
lot of people think that. Maybe I'm a pure of heart, but
nobody thinks that, David. Okay, nobody thinks that. I don't know. I think, girl, I just, I don't know. I always try to mind my peace. But when somebody brings it out of me, but you know what I love is like my best friend is the same way. Oh, so when we like banter back and forth, it's so much fun. It is so much fun. But I realized just recently, first of all, can we talk about financial like intelligence for a second? Because I don't
think we should.
No. Because
I don't think we're the people for that.
Why? Because we chose to have babies back to back.
Yes.
when a pandemic was happening. Yeah, no. So I want to I did not know this. Mm-hmm. Okay, when my bestie invites me to places, you know, we always have to do the most. We love planning shit, right? And I typically get the hotel while she gets like the tickets or whatever, right? We always split something up. We always divvying something up. So I was like looking at hotels, and she texted me. She was like, "Hey, I got the hotel. This is where we're gonna be staying for the night." And I was like, okay. And it's a brand new hotel, and it was great, and it was awesome. So I get there first. And she was like, "Hey, I put you on the list so you can sign into the room for us, you know, whatever, just give them your ID." And I was like, "All right, cool." So I go up to the front desk, and when I tell you, they treated me like a queen. You know why? What? Because my friend has an Amex.
Oh.
And when they were like, "Hold on, this is for, you know, Mrs. So-and-so," I was like, "Yeah." And they grab a gift bag from the back and an envelope with her name and beautiful cursive writing.
Wow.
They were like, "Here, this is for her." And you guys, I'm sitting there with a big ass tote and like my curling iron sticking out of it. I got no makeup on, whatever. I look like I got to the hotel room. It was so nice.
They're probably like, "That lady treats her assistant well."
Straight up. And I was like, "Girl, I look like your hairstylist over here, girl." She was laughing her ass off. So she was teaching me like about, you know, the Amex card. You have to have a specific credit score, and like you have to have like maintain like a specific amount of like, you know, like your income. And I did not know this. But the perks are amazing. Wow. And you guys, my friend is literally my sugar daddy, no offense, because she got me onto a flight to Chicago to and from for free. You hear me? And like the hotel that we stayed in, a perk. It was just like free night. Huh? What? I was like, "Why didn't you tell me this?" She was like, "Bitch, I had to learn this." And so like I passed down my knowledge to you. And I was
I'm just glad Khadijah's not a guy. So I might have something to worry about.
And would. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh,
even
man.
I black. Can I get his number?
It was a cool experience. But yeah, you know, I did not know about that, so we need to look into that and maybe aspire to have that. But yeah, so just a little. It was fun.
And my dad is always flying. I never ask him if he uses or like if he has a.
He literally told us that he didn't know how to use his miles. He told us that the other day that he has so many of them.
Like the VIP area.
He just learned. Called? Oh, the lounge.
The lounge, yeah.
That, you know, and I didn't know anything about that either. Like, who is? So that's why, you know, like even on my YouTube channel, I just want to like figure all this shit out and then tell y'all because nobody fucking told me. And then like my mom found out about it. And one day she just texted me a picture of herself in the lounge. And I had flown with this woman.
Why is she in the lounge?
After
what is she
time,
doing?
and she never told me. And she was like, "Oh, I got a day pass." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Yeah, I got a day pass." And she was over there sipping champagne. And I was like, "Why didn't?"
Do they have like a lazy river in there? Like you just sit down.
Babe, it's like a buffet.
A buffet.
And everything. Yes.
Like what kind of food? Good food.
All kinds of food. They had all kinds of breakfast food and stuff out there. Oh. And it was like an early flight. You know what I mean? And then they tell you when your flight's about to board, and you get to board first. And it is so like, look at us. We're looking at each other like, what? Who knew about this? And why didn't y'all tell me? So I guarantee you I'm not about to gatekeep because I don't appreciate
That's
it.
I'm just going to buy a private jet. Fuck all that.
Oh, man. Why do I be watching those TikToks where they like, it's like this guy who sells private jets and they have consultations. Have you seen them?
No.
Babe. And like, he'll be like, first of all, you know, what's your budget? First of all, how many people do you want to sit in this jet? And I will watch these videos from beginning to end. Like I got money like that. And he goes, goes like from how many people do you want sitting in there? How much of it do you want it to be like a conference room or a bed? Or do you want to give up some of the space, or do you want it to be all chairs? How big do you want the windows? The bigger the windows, the bigger the jet looks. Like, this is how many staff you have to have.
Why would that even matter?
Like, how far across the world? Like, what are the furthest points that you typically fly? And like, it is so interesting. But girl, when I tell you that fuel is so much money.
Refer me to the video because I'm in the market.
Yeah. I've been keeping my eye out. Okay.
I'm trying to find a good deal.
I like looking at this stuff, but honestly, I feel like that's kind of a bit much. I don't think I ever get into a place where I don't know, where I just don't feel like.
I think it was like Taylor Swift. People were trying to like clown on her or like
for what?
Get on her for
fuel
how
emissions?
Much she like flies her private jet and shit. Yeah, because of the carbon footprint of a private jet. I'm just like, anybody complaining about it, if she offered them a ride on it, they would take it in a heartbeat. You know what I mean? Like
100%.
It's easy to
don't
be.
You lie.
It's easy to be all about the environment.
Man, yeah,
when
that's true.
you don't have access to a private jet. Even I'm like shit.
Dude, it is one of my it's just one of my bucket lists just to fly on one time. Just to give me a one time. Like, I don't want to own one. I just want to fly on one time.
I think you can even own one and rent it out,
You could rent it out, yeah. One time I had a boss that owned a private jet, and he had me and another assistant drop off paperwork to this hangar that was out in the middle of nowhere. And it was the craziest shit to see him, he was literally in pajamas. And his kids were running up and down the stairs onto the jet. And it was just such a weird thing to see people. That was their everyday life.
That is crazy.
The mom was coming in with McDonald's bags to get in the jet with the kids. Hey, good morning, Nikki. And I was like, oh, hey, good morning. Oh my God. And yeah. He was like, oh, well, yeah, we'll be back in 2 days.
Go to baseball practice.
Straight up. It's crazy how big the gap is.
Yeah.
When it comes to that type of shit, we don't even know, we have no idea, but just the little perks, I just want to know about it. Somebody tell me about it. And nobody taught us, or me anyway, about credit cards, how to properly use them, how to properly use your perks and your points and stuff come on, hello. But it's meant to be kind of confusing on purpose so that, people won't know about it and use it often.
The man trying to keep me down, bro.
The man trying to keep me down. But
it's been working.
It's a learning curve.
All right, kudos you.
All I knew was check-in, savings, and cash in a mattress.
Even savings seems kind of dumb too, because just hold on to money that's losing value.
Yeah, it's not. It's not compounding. Yeah, and interest.
It's just fucking
that I had to learn as well.
It just goes down.
Yeah. But I plan to teach our kids everything.
But growing up, they're you need a savings account.
Or yeah. Always a savings account.
You need a savings account. Now I'm watching all these financial gurus, on whatever, and they're
TikTok University, man.
Savings account's a fraud. I'm like, what?
It for real is.
And I'm like, oh, that does make sense.
Yeah, the growth is crazy. It's
you need to have your money in assets.
So we got a lot of learning to do, you guys.
NFTs, slabby.
Now that babe, did you hear about this crazy stuff where there are certain banks and people's savings accounts are just disappearing they never existed, the account itself, the account number and everything, people's money is just going missing.
Dang.
Yeah. It's happening more and more often.
Ooh.
Yeah, and it's just really unsettling.
Banks are kind of fun. I didn't even know how banks worked.
Our economy's in the shitter.
I just thought you put your money in a bank and they just held it in there.
Our economy's in the shitter.
That's what I thought a bank was,
Yeah.
They just had a vault full of gold coins and they're this is your money.
The other day, I spent almost $5 on a bottle of orange juice.
I believe it.
They wanted almost $8 for whipped cream.
I was like, yeah, whipped cream's expensive as hell.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't even really afford to get freaky anymore. What is, Thanks a lot, Joe Biden.
Dude, okay, wait a minute.
He's under Trump.
Wait a minute.
I could afford whipped cream, He even giving me ideas. I was like, all right, go ahead, pee on me. I can afford it.
Shut up.
Did you see that video that a little girl, she's probably like 19, 20, and she's like crying on her camera about how hard it is to have like a life outside of work, like with the commute and going to work for however many hours a day and then coming back home. Basically describing like a 40-hour a week job.
Yeah, like a 9 to 5.
And she's like crying. She's like literally crying because she can't have like a personal life outside of work, because when she gets home, she feels so tired. All she wants to do is just like eat, take a shower, and go to sleep. Mm-hmm. And like people are just like clowning this girl. They're just like clowning her, like that's called just being an adult.
It's
that's
true,
called
man.
Just fucking.
We've all had to do that.
And I'm like, that is fucked up. Like,
it is super fucked
you know
up, but
I mean?
like a lot of us, I mean,
but
babe.
like how many, so many people are just so conditioned,
of course,
to like accept,
like
this corporate enslavement that is happening
for a long time,
and it's just like it is what it is. Like you,
the more
work.
time that you had at work, like the more experienced you seemed, and like you're placed on a pedestal. You know, like
it's like what are you even making money for? You basically just going to work to provide for a house and get food, but like you really, unless you have like a really
nowadays
great job.
Not even that. A house is so unattainable right now. It is crazy.
Yeah,
it is crazy.
It's insane, but yeah, people just clown that girl, man. I was like, I feel her. Like, I used to think that shit all the time at work. I'd be like, man.
Yeah, but like I felt weird thinking it, you know? Like I felt people make you feel like you're lazy if you were to have that mindset, you know? Like you're not trying to put in your hard work. Like, bitch, I held down 2-3 jobs at a time, ho. Don't try to talk to me about hard work. I barely had time at home just trying to make ends meet. What you talking about? But I got so accustomed, like, this is just what I got to do. Yeah. This is what we got to do. You over here working 12s.
Yeah, they just like spit in our face and say
6 days a week.
Yeah, my dad's a really hard worker. He was...
And he's gone a lot even now. I mean, that man does not slow down. No, he does not slow down.
He's one of those people that like they might die if they stop working.
Yeah,
like, he's one of those type of guys. Mm-hmm. I don't know what happened to me. I don't even. I'm sure he wonders that all the time. He's like, I don't even know. I'm surprised he hasn't gotten a paternity test on me.
You are so far opposite. It's crazy.
Because like I don't really like look much like him.
Yes, you do.
There's like mannerisms. I have a lot of his mannerisms.
You look like your dad too.
You think I look like my dad?
Yes, I do.
I look more like my mom.
You do look like your mom in certain places.
I got my dad's head.
You look like your dad as well.
I got my dad's head for sure. I probably got his eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like all right here is your dad.
No, you could go up a little more. Like, got that Lebanese forehead, boy.
You definitely look like when you guys stand next to each other. It's evident that you are his son. You're just a different shade. That's all.
Yeah, that's a way to put it. I remember like at work, you know, because we worked at the same company, people come up to me, they were like, hey, because my dad's name is Dave too, so they'd be like, hey, just keep an eye out, I heard Dave's son is on this job site. And I'd be like, no way. He'd be like, yeah, I heard he's kind of a dick. Talking about me to me.
Were you a dick at work?
No, I was just I was there to have a good time, you know? Like
okay, but like, you know how like people think of like Rob Kardashian? Mm-hmm. That's how like people were looking at you like I
am pretty much the Rob Kardashian. I am Rob Kardashian in my family. Now that I think about it. Kind of just got away from the family plan, gained some weight. Like shut up. That's me for sure. That's definitely who I am. Like, if you meet, like, my dad's side of the family, I probably confuse you. But if you meet my mom's side of the family, then you're like, oh. I
feel like on your mom's side of the family, you're tame.
Yes.
You are very tame. But on your dad's side of the family, you're like, you know.
I'm like, when I go over there, I'm a fucking superstar. First of all, I'm taller than everybody. Like, it's not even close.
That's true.
I feel like a fucking giant.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm in the NBA when I go to my mom's family. Little Mexicans. All of just little tiny Mexicans, bro. I'm like, I got it together. I haven't been to prison. Like, I'm doing pretty well.
Been to prison. Straight up though.
Like, I'm doing pretty good, man. On my dad's side though, like, I got family members that are like attorneys and lawyers. My dad, obviously, he's successful. One of our like my great uncle is like a world-renowned neuroscientist. Like,
when I tell you, David loves to repeat that fact. But you know what? I ain't even hating. Because if it was somebody in my family, I would say it all the time.
You know, I gotta. I'm like, hey, you know, who else am I gonna brag about?
Straight up.
My other uncle? No. But no, yeah, so there's a lot of smart people in my family. Then there's like me. And then
wow.
Just kidding.
Wow.
Me and my cousins.
I will say that I come from really smart people. Like, I don't think that I come from like the people around me were really intelligent. But, you know, circumstances are different. Hey, before we go, it's about to be Halloween.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
When this comes out, it'll be tomorrow.
Yeah. So let's end off with a spooky, scary story.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't have any good ones.
You're fucking lying.
I don't have any good
Never
spooky
had
stories,
like a
man.
moment where like it was just like
No. I don't have any of that, which I'm glad I don't, because I'm like one of those people that would like piss themselves, you know what I mean?
Really?
Like any paranormal shit, I just
no.
nah.
Really?
I don't
have okay.
Maybe I've seen it, I'm just like
yeah.
Nope. I'm gonna choose to block that out.
It's not particularly scary, but it was only because my grandma worked with old people all the time. So
you're scared of old people?
No, yes, in a way. No, but they would die. And
okay.
that was a part of the job. And she would take care of husbands and wives, like together in the home. Right. So one of them would die, but she would have to stay there to take care of the other.
So you're afraid of like the Notebook when you see that movie? You're like, oh, old people dying in their sleep. Oh,
it was traumatized. But so like weird stuff would happen. Like there was this one guy that he was super rich. He was super rich, and he was like friends with Mary Kay's family type of rich, okay? And he lived in this huge, like it was like a mini mansion, and it had like the big white pillars out front with like the lion statues. I mean, just imagine it. His big old door knocker was a big lion. Anyways,
real Greek shit.
It was real flashy. They had money, okay? And so my grandma took care of him and his wife, and he was a mean old man. He was mean as fuck, and he used to hit my grandma and pull her hair, and like he would like.
I think that blows past the line of mean.
No, he was mean. He was so mean, but like the wife loved us, right? So like she would tell my grandma, you know, you can bring your grandkids, me and my brother. And so she gave us clearance. But anytime that old man, and he was like in a wheelchair, you know, and he was super old, and he would, anytime he fucking saw a glimpse of us in the hallway, he would start spitting mad. He, what the fuck, just fucking going off, right? So finally, one day my mom woke us up real early in the morning. She was like, we got to go pick up grandma. And we were like, why? And she was like, Mr. So-and-so died. And my grandma was there, and he died in his room, in his bed. And she found him, right? And so she found him. Yeah, so we go over there, and my mom used to work with my grandma too, so my mom was going over there to pick up like her check or whatever, and my brother and I were in the back of the car, and there was like this, they had huge fucking windows in the front, right? And Mr. So-and-so, I don't want to say his name, he used to have days, like parts of his day every day where my grandma would wheel his wheelchair to one of the big windows so he could look outside. Well, it was dark, and he had one of those big U driveways, and we were parked there and waiting for my mom. My mom was like, stay in the car. And I swear on everything, we saw his wheelchair like in the window, and we just saw like his leg and his foot, but he was already dead. And then like both Solomon and I freaked out, and we were like, oh my God. And like we just like hit the floor of the car, and then we peeked back up, and it was gone. And like Mrs. So-and-so was not in like a wheelchair or anything, so we know it wasn't. But it was like the creepiest thing. It was so creepy.
It sounds like something out of a scary movie.
It's so creepy. And I was like,
we like look up and it's a lady in a curtain. If I didn't
have my brother there, I would think that I was lying for real. I was like, but he was like, no, I fucking saw it. I saw it. And he even told my mom, he was like, wait, who was out of the window? She was like, you know he did. And I was like, I think his old man spirit was still there.
See, I have no story like that.
Well, you didn't work with old people.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have anything. Nope, nothing.
What?
Just a boring life.
Well, was there anything? How about this? How about was there anything that those La Llorona, the folk tales and stuff? Was there anything that anybody ever told you that just kind of freaked you out?
Yeah, like La Llorona. Yeah, that was one of them. My mom told me that story, but she had me convinced it was that all that happened at Sloan's Lake. You know what I mean?
Same.
Then I got older. I was like,
same.
That shit didn't happen at Sloan's Lake. What the fuck she talking about?
Okay, ours happened at White Rock Lake.
I was like, and I remember we were in our apartment. I was like, oh fuck, I can hear her.
Teach it,
but really, it's just domestic violence next door.
Sloan's Lake at night is scary.
It is. It's like dark as shit.
Do not go to Sloan's Lake at night.
It's dark as shit, man.
Yeah, there are rumors that there are bodies in Sloan's Lake.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like a lot of them.
I mean, I know there was some in the Commerce City Reservoir or whatever. Yeah, I used to work with a guy that I think he killed his girl, or that people that know the guy, because my dad knows him because he grew up with him. And he was like, I told him, I was like, hey man, do you know this guy? And he was like, how the fuck do you know him? And I was like, oh, he's working at with whatever company. And he's like, stay away from that guy. And this guy weirded me out because he knew my whole family, and I didn't know this guy at all.
Ooh.
He knew my uncle, my mom, my Nina. He knew everybody. He knew my Ninos. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was like, who the hell is this guy? So I asked my dad. I was like, hey, do you know this guy? And he was like, stay away from that guy. He's like, we're all pretty positive. He's crazy. We're pretty sure that he killed his girl, and then
oh my god,
and dumped her in the Commerce City Reservoir. And I was like, what? And I was like, dang. So when I went back to work, he was like, what's up, David? And I was like, hey, man. Didn't want him to know that I knew too much.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Don't look at him sideways.
I was like, what's up, man? You probably never murder anybody, right?
That's kind of weird to think about, right? Yeah, it makes you feel a little iffy.
Yeah, so I don't know. I guess if he did.
Super weird.
I mean, I'm not going to lie.
Oh my god!
I think he probably did.
Oh my god!
I think he probably did. After I interacted with him a little bit more, I was like,
"Do you think? Do you think that we've ever been around a serial killer unknowingly?
In what capacity? Having a conversation with one?
Nah, just being in the same vicinity as one. If you
being
in a
in
restaurant
somewhere.
or at an airport or if you really think about it, we probably have.
I mean, how many serial killers are there?
So many.
They're all just trying to make it big. They're like, when the fuck am I going to get my Netflix documentary?
Yep.
How much more work I got to put in?
Shut up.
Just trying to make it. They probably watch other serial killer documentaries. This guy sucks.
Yeah, right. I would never do that. I would do that so different.
Yeah.
No. Speaking of serial killers, you know the franchise Scream, right?
Right.
Okay, so that's based off a real guy. That's based off
That's
a real
crazy,
guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so I was doing some research on that and super crazy story, but that's not what I'm here to talk about because y'all cochinas out there, let me tell you something. Y'all turned this whole thing around and I see you. There's a thing going around, okay? The ghost face mask. Apparently a lot of women have a fantasy of fucking the guy and having their man wear this mask and they do the tarantara and some of them be having them pretend they're out in the woods and shit fucking having them pretend they're being chased.
What? Are you for real?
Yeah, and they put it to sexy music and yeah. And so they're making their men go out and get the ghost face mask. Would you wear it?
I would have some questions afterwards for sure. I'm like, is everything okay? Now that I'm a little bit more clear-headed, are you all right?
Do we need to go to a therapist?
I didn't want to say anything before, but I think this is kind of weird. I don't.
Oh well, it's just a thought. It's just a thing.
It's like, ooh, can you dress up as like Ted Bundy? What?
It's just, yeah. So that is what I have been seeing on the streets. But without further ado,
they say guys are perverts. Shit.
We all have our things. We all have our kinks. All right. So let's not judge each other. But anyways, you guys, that is it for today's episode. Thank y'all so much for coming back and, coming to chill with us to start off your week off right with the His and Hers pod. We are so happy to be back. And it felt good to talk and catch up and everything. So we will see you guys next week. And we love y'all very much. Make sure you guys, stay safe out there. Have a great Halloween. And we'll see you on the flip side. Peace out.